There he is.
Yeah.
What
What's
up?
up?
What
What's
up?
up?
Oh, good. We had some technical difficulties. Sorry about that.
Yeah, man, it was all me. It was all
It's all
me,
good.
as usual.
Just a couple Southern boys trying to figure it out.
Yeah, man, I don't know nothing about them computers.
Damn things. All right. So this week, short week, a little different for us because I traded 3 out of 4 days. How many days you trade this week?
Man, I
Oh, just wait for this one.
I played around with some futures on I think like Tuesday, and I took the rest of the week off. I hadn't traded.
But guess what? When you trade stocks, you can do what the hell you want.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
I took some time off in December, January, kid's birthday. We got Easter coming up.
I thought you died, man.
What, December, January?
Yeah, dude, it was forever. You were
Yeah, it was a long time. We were going through it, man. Well, just had a lot of stuff. Kids going through some stuff. It was a lot. So took some time off. But anyway, so today we're gonna do something a little different. We're trying to do this live thing, keep things regulated. Uh, I say regulated, consistent. Maybe is a better word, both for us. Maybe our wives don't hate us because we have more of a set schedule with all this type of stuff. And yeah, man, we're gonna try to do some live stuff every Tuesday. No, not Tuesday. Thursday at this time, and then Monday at about 7:15 for pre-market prep. So anyway,
Yeah, I told you my wife's happier about it too. I meant to tell you that.
that's good because I think mine is too. So happy wives, happy lives. Plus, you really got to keep your wife happy right now.
I know, man. That's part of the reason why I hadn't really been trading as much is because I've just got so much going on here with her, like picking up the slack with. I mean, she's just been feeling terrible being pregnant and whatnot.
Mine went through it too. Both of them. But anyway, we're gonna do some trade recap per usual. But we're gonna talk about a couple other things we haven't really talked about yet that I think would benefit a lot of people, new or experienced. But we try to aim stuff more towards newer folks. But anyway, um, I guess we can start it with some trade recap, and then we'll get into some of the extra stuff. I got some gap stats, some short reports,
Oh yeah,
things of that nature. So first, we're going to start it with this. Makes me happy every time I play that.
I love that thing, man. You did good on it.
Yeah, I like it. All right, so I'm gonna go over one that I traded today because it's the most recent thing on my mind, and it's the only stock I traded today where I have fully exited my position. I'm actually in two over the long weekend.
Oh man,
So I've been swinging more lately. I just it,
I did it like what did I swing? I swung one of those China tickers, and
so I'm swinging a China ticker, and we typically don't swing stuff, but that's where the whole adapting to what the market gives you. And some of these, I've been doing better on some swings in the last month than I have intraday stuff by far. Now, obviously, that also exposes you to more risk. But you know me, I typically don't swing stuff unless I'm feeling pretty comfortable. I'm not swinging stuff typically that I'm not even going to say that because one ticker I'm about to show looks like it could have squeezed my nuts, so to speak. But we're gonna get into that. So this was the first thing I traded today, and as you can see, I got a little chopped up on the front end. This was a tough one. It ended up working out, and it ended up being a nice trade. But I half sized here right at the, I thought was kind of a descending high off pre-market. Half sized it there.
OPB,
Yeah,
OPB.
a
That's you,
little,
dog.
a little bit, a little bit.
I'm just
VWAP,
playing you.
lower highs. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me half it. Full sized here. And obviously it just kept going. So, and I do this a lot. I do this a lot and I hate myself for it, but it's like I guess I set my risk at that. That was my risk level, right? Breaks 210, I'm done. This thing was moving pretty thin, and I was like, if it breaks 210, I got to get out. So I did. Well, then literally like 30 seconds after I get out, it does like a what looks to be the fake breakout. There's the big candle, and I'm like, damn. Like, so I re-hit right after I covered. I basically re-hit full size, and because of that, I did go all out here. That pretty much made me break even. Full size from about here, because half and half covered here, and then full size from here to here. So that about made me, that's a break even trade. I left a little bit on, only a third. So I was still sitting just a little below break even at this point. So I hit it again, recycled everything back in full, and exited 2/3 here, third to get me into the green. And then I actually I like range orders, right? So I can take that shit off my screen and keep it moving.
Oh yeah.
And I put my stop at break even, and I actually put my target slightly below this opening level. I think it was like 167, roughly where the 15 or not 15, 5200 was as well. But anyway, it never got there. I kept seeing it on my side monitor. I keep them on watch. I don't put them out of sight. I keep them on my side monitor, but I kept seeing it bounce off this magical blue line.
I can't imagine what that line is.
the old 1-200, and I kept seeing it bounce off, and I'm like, damn, it's just like a magnet. And we've seen a lot of times where I don't like to put my targets at the 1-200, but I put it on my chart because if it respects it, it respects it. It is what it is.
I usually take some off at the 1-200. Like that's like a big target for me, and I think a lot of people on
our circle of people use the 1-200 pretty liberally for some covers, I've noticed, which there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously here it respected that all day, so it's pushing noon. I'm so at that point I'm done with it, so I just all out it here. Ended up being a pretty nice trade because of that re-hit here, covered.
Yeah, that was
last
sick.
bit cover there. So
good.
The patience kind of, because I figured this was the fake breakout. It came down, it kind of bounced around here in this breakout. So the reason I covered here is because this was a breakout area. So when it fell below and instantly reclaimed, I'm like, all right, it's respecting that level. I'm done with it. I'm glad I was, because obviously went back up, recycled, re-hit, worked my way out of it. And it was a decent trade. This wasn't a huge win because of the chop on the front end that I hit or that I took, but the patience allowed me to re-hit and turn it into a nice trade. That was a tough method, man. Like, that one gave me some problems. Right? It worked out.
I hate it when they're like that, man.
Like that. Trying to Turbo Trades in the comments. I like that guy, Turbo Trades. Turbo on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Versus one shot. So I could tell you, I used to be more of a one in, one out type of guy. I don't know. Shit. What are we in? 2023? Probably 2021. I was more one in, one out, but I felt like the fades were so much deeper in 2021. Then 2022 hit. I felt like the market took a drastic turn. Everything started changing. I think our little niche got a little crowded. Plus, the market made a major shift in 2022. Anyway, I started really taking the two shots sizing pretty heavy in 2022, and I've been at it a little more regular, about a good year now. And plus, like with one shot, one in, one shot, I'm not a system trader. And I was trying to take system entries, not being a system trader, and that just wasn't working. So I started doing two. I'm not one for scaling or I don't want to call it ad, but you know what I'm talking about. Scaling it's just not my style. So with 2 entries, it just allowed me for a better margin of error to get a position around a core or a key level that I thought. So I've been doing that more so for the last year, and well, a little longer than a year now. And I've had much more success with that. If you're one in, one out, I think that's more of a system thing. And no disrespect to those guys, there's a million ways to cut the pie. But I have found for me personally that I've had a lot more success with 2-3 in, 2 or 3 out. It just allows for a little bit wider margin of error, and it lets me take some wins on the way down. How many times we've seen things freaking reclaim on us, midday or end of day, and you're one in, one out, and that reclaim, you went from having a nice little 10-15% profit to being break even or down. So anyway,
I'm the same way, man. I'm the same way.
To be honest, you had me. You probably don't even know this, but I started 1, 2, 3 shot and then a little bit more when I started seeing some of your charts. Anyway,
because of my shit, yeah, dude.
Don't tell nobody.
Oh well, I won't. But I mean, how I'll do it sometimes. I mean, there's sometimes when it's like I'll hit it one shot just because I'm like, all right, I don't have another. And I think it's also just like a pattern recognition thing. I mean, I know I say that a lot, but it's like if I'm like, all right, I see this is kind of a this is the resistance area or whatever I'm looking at, and I want to hit it here. But if I'm thinking, all right, this is a para, I want to hit a little bit here on this front side. I think it's it's getting topped out, and let it top out, and then hammer the backside, like a little bit of small size on the front. That way, if I'm stopping out, it's not like, if I'm like, oh shit, this really is going too far and I got to stop out, then it's not, I don't like especially on, cause I trade paras a lot. I don't like the all in on one on a para on the front side.
It's dangerous.
It is, man. I mean, you've got to, and I know that's a different answer because, that's, I know the question was really more for your style on like a.
Oh, so he said the IRFX. So I'm still in that one.
Was that the one that like I said, man, I haven't really been watching Twitter this week. I've just been so damn busy. But was that the one that went like to $7?
Yeah, because I'm short now. So he said I usually 2 shot and did 2 shot, but 1 shot might make sense. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you're right. I mean, sometimes you get a 1 shot entry and it's dead on, and then maybe you can catch an ad on the backside or on the confirmation of the fail. But IFRX, I don't have that chart right. I'm still in that trade. Me and Sam actually talked about that this morning. I got short in pre-market around just on the 6 reject, and then I hit it again today. I didn't quite catch the top on that fake breakout above 6, but I added again like 590 or so. But that's when I'm swinging, and we'll see how it works out. But I'm swinging that one. The end. I don't have a chart ready for that, but the end of the day, it kind of got me a little. I haven't looked at it again, but anyway, the first red day setups for me, because we talked about it this morning, I typically do 2 shot those things. I like a nice red to green as an initial entry, but I've just noticed the first red days. I don't know how many first red days I've seen lately work out for me where it works perfectly at a red to green reject. It's like it jumps 5-ish or so % above that red to green, and I don't know.
What's up, Johnny?
Johnny Trades NYC. Appreciate you. So let me just jump into the next one. Like I said, I don't have a lot of what's pretty gross. It was gross action. IFRX it's part of the reason I'm swinging it. And I should have, I'm going to tell you right now, Sam, I probably should have got out when it was around 540 or something, and almost all outed at that point. And I didn't, and I may regret that. We'll see come Monday because the market's closed tomorrow. But I'm going to show my next banger of a trade because this is something that I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on. Not so much about the trade, but this is something we haven't talked about before. So this was AI, right? Looks like a pretty nice trade. I caught a couple points on it, roughly. Felt pretty good about it. I do trade. I do take trades sometimes on news. I think we both do at times. So on this particular stock, AI, this was the AI stocks last week were running hard. Major theme, the whole basket: AI, GFAI, BBAI. I'm sure there's multiple I'm leaving off. The whole basket of AI themes was running crazy last week. AI theme in oil. Oil died kind of quick. Well, AI kind of died quick too, but I'm going to show why. So this was my trade. Felt pretty damn good about it. I don't trade much pre-market, right? You know that. I suck at pre-market trading. It's not my thing. If I ever do it, I don't go big size. I didn't take huge size here, but I took enough based on one factor. So we're on Twitter, right? We're fairly active, but when we're trading, I'm not looking at Twitter while I'm trading because it can get you all fucked up.
Yeah, I know,
right?
and I know you made the poll about that a couple weeks ago after we talked about it, man. And
yeah,
that's why I've got, I'll usually answer stuff like anytime somebody comments on my stuff or whatever, ask me something. I'm usually not answering it during the day now. I had to turn my notifications off during the day. It's just cancer for me. Like,
I agree 100%. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with Twitter. It's allowed me to network with you and I, right? That's how we got. There's a lot of good to be had through Twitter, but when it comes to like the notifications and stuff while you're trading, it can be cancerous. But there are three accounts that give me Twitter notifications throughout the day. And the reason I took this AI short, and I'm sure a lot of people that trade regularly are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I know why," but we haven't talked about this yet on this platform. But there is. Let me get this thing pulled up here. I know this is kind of hard to read. I have an ultra wide monitor, and it just sucks when it doesn't translate through. But
hey, and by the way, Johnny, I totally agree with you, man.
No need for it. Too crowded. Horrible. Yeah, 100%. Twitter can be cancerous. There's good to come out of it, and I've met some really cool people.
We met each other on Twitter.
Yeah,
but, I mean, and we're only a couple hours away from each other, but
which is crazy. Yeah.
Go ahead.
What?
Totally agree with you, though, man. I cannot look at Twitter during the day. It'll screw me up in the head. I'll see certain tweets from certain people that will remain nameless, and it'll have me rethinking my entire position, and I'll sell along too soon or cover a short when I shouldn't be. Just dumb stuff.
Yep. But this right here, so this was April 4th, which was today's Thursday, so Tuesday, right? So this for you section is such time. I agree. I was telling somebody the other day, the for you section on Twitter is a joke. I don't even look at that. Like maybe on the week, maybe on the weekends for entertainment purposes, but during like the week, nah, that's off. That section's a freaking joke. But this is why I shorted AI. So during trading hours, I have alerts set on Twitter for short report groups. Kerrisdale, Hindenburg, Citron are the three that I have alerts set for. There's others out there, but I feel like those three carry some pretty heavy weight. When they tweet, like it or not, they can move a stock. And this is what they do. And I'm not saying this is right or wrong. Usually these reports are pretty well founded, right? They usually do their homework, and they do typically expose some pretty grimy shit, right? Like,
oh yeah,
it is what it is. And plus the companies we're shorting, they're piece of shit companies. We all know that. But this tweet was put out by them 8:05 a.m. So they They put this out. See, 8:05. So 30 minutes before open. So literally right when this came out, and I'm not even gonna put my trade back. I'll just tell you. But right after this came out, I shorted AI. And I know I've already told you I shorted AI based on this. They're putting out stuff basically calling out AI, grimy accounting, just underhanded stuff. Took the short on AI. And my anticipation was that when the market opened, AI was going to have a little bit of a rip and then continue on based on their short report. So I'm going to pull up the AI chart and show you how. Remember, I covered it, 3150 roughly, let's say.
Still pretty solid, man.
Solid. Followed my plan. Can't be mad at it. But just take a look at this. So AI had this really nice consolidation period. Really nice run up right here. This was nice. Consolidation, run up, huge volume coming in. This was a really nice breakout play in a hot sector. The head of the snake in AI. They got the perfect ticker name, AI. You couldn't ask for a better ticker name. This company could suck, but this ticker name is going to carry them way further than they should probably ever be carried. But anyway, I shorted it right in here. You see the little hand? You see that? Yeah, shorted right in here from about 33 let's just say 33 to 31, whatever, roughly. Felt pretty good about it. Expected to push it open that I was going to get short back into. Obviously, the push never came, and this thing just melted. And I'm not good at shorting weakness.
I'm not either, man. I talk about that all the time. I suck at shorting weakness.
Yeah, I do too, and that's something we have in common. In hindsight, right? In hindsight, I probably could have reshorted that 31 level. After open, broke through this 5,200. There's a nice breakout level here. Again, hindsight trading's easy. I didn't ever reshort it, and it melted. So obviously,
look at the volume on that thing dying, man.
Huge selling volume. And I'm sitting here just watching it, but I'm too afraid to get in it. I'm afraid that the second I short it, it's gonna surely dip and rip because it's the hottest sector out there. Obviously, there was no dip and rip. This thing just full on melted. So I piked the shit out of this trade. And this could have been a month making. We talk about a lot. Sometimes we have month making trades that can literally, one trade can make your whole month. This could have been that trade. Fumbled it pretty hard, but this is not what I anticipated. Missed it. It is what it is. But this was the head of the snake. Something I want to show real quick that I did hit was
Johnny, that selling pressure was insane.
I think it just got me deer in the headlights because I just wasn't ready for it. I don't know, but damn. This wasn't. I'm not even gonna pretend like this was a great trade. It wasn't. It worked out. And I know it's kind of tough to see, but GFAI, I had a 1950 average. Truth be told, I was going to get out on a 21 break. I tried to get out here. Did not get executed. Yes, it worked out. But had I got executed, I'd taken a loss. And obviously, when I saw this action, I'm like, okay, if it breaks, I'm out. I was going to get out. It never broke. And then obviously it worked out in my favor. This was a swing, and this is the one I was talking about earlier, that had me not sleeping well. Because this was, this was a low floater. And it worked out. It is what it is. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Maybe this is one of those times. Sam said a lot of exceptional long traders were long biased. Tough one. Yeah, for sure. For sure. AI it looked beautiful, and it was strong. Good sector, strong stock, and that Carousel report killed it. Absolutely killed it. Them, Hindenburg, and Citron they have the power to move stocks. I would have never thought though that Carousel could have moved AI the way that they moved AI, but they murdered that thing. That was brutal.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely brutal.
I'm gonna have to put some more. Uh, I don't know what the word would be, faith or something into those reports for. I mean, just shorting into that pressure on that selling pressure. If I see it on something like that,
Yeah,
it's
that
just
was definitely a learning. I just was so terrified of getting short. Then the second I clicked short, just. But I mean, that's where risk management comes into play, and it is what it is. I caught a better move on this than I did AI. But anyway, I mean, that's why I follow those people. Like they have the ability to move a stock, and if you're on Twitter and you are a short seller, follow those guys. And I'm not even saying like to short them, but just know that way if they tweet something, it can move a stock, and you're knowing why. Short Bear shared some stats on Carousel. They're statistically not. I agree. I think is it Hindenburg? I could be wrong about that. I think Hindenburg's the most successful statistically. But yeah, man, I never would have thought Carousel would have moved that stock like that. That's why I expected like at open, I really expected like a nice rebound and then maybe some pressure. But damn, they just murdered that thing. Yeah, it was their second report. Yeah, they were probably trying to protect their short position, to be honest. Can I ask, what was the swing thought process? I do see people swinging extension moves, but the curious thought process on something stuff. Yeah, this wasn't a great swing. I'll be honest with you. I typically don't swing stuff unless I am up pretty nice on the position. I don't like swinging stuff. I don't like swinging low floaters. I don't like swinging if I'm not up nicely on the position. The only reason I swung this is because I had a nice average. And as you can see, like, well, you can't really see. After hours, it got pretty stagnant. I woke up early and this didn't worry. This was going in my favor. I was here for this, tried to exit, didn't get executed. And this is why I hate trading pre-market and after hours, is it can be tough to get executed. So when I didn't get executed here, I was like, oh shit. And then I seen it instantly drop back down, canceled my order, and then I held it. So no, this is why I say this was not a good trade. This was more of a lucky, better than good trade. I wasn't dissatisfied with my average, but I was going to cover at a 21 break. And it was there. I was going to get executed. So, yeah, big balls. I did. I had to go change.
Man, I've in the past, like in 2020 and 2021, when I was still, I remember there was one time I was like, all right, because we're in. I think I saw that. What was it? Anyway, me and Craig here, we're in the Central Time Zone, and so I got to wake up at 3 a.m. or a little earlier to if I was to swing something. I rarely ever swing anything, but a while back, I had like I don't remember what it was. I had like I don't know. I had blown up a big account back in like 2020 or something, and I had another account. I had about 10 grand in it, and I was doing good. And I swung something short overnight, and I woke up late, and next thing you know, I'm down like 8K. I'm like, son of a bitch. It was terrible. That's the kind of shit that's scarred me from short swinging floaters.
And I agree with you. I don't. This was, like I said, I'm not. I'm not even bragging about this trade. This was a straight up luck. I tried to exit, didn't get out. I don't like swinging low floaters unless I'm up nicely on the. Like I'm swinging IFRX right now because I have a nice average, and that might come back to bite me. But I'm more comfortable on that swing because of the average I have and because it's slowly faded. This thing, even with the average I had, obviously didn't slowly fade. So this wasn't a great trade. I got lucky. Because this was when the AI short report came out, and this went lower too. But when it got down to I had to cover there. That was. It is what it is, man. I wasn't happy with the trade. I was happy with the private, wasn't happy with the trade. I even put it in my, I journal all the time, put it in my journal. I was like, this was dumb. You're a moron. You're lucky. I'm pretty sure my journal said something like that. Roughly. Yeah, I blew up 2017 from a low float swing. Yeah, man. Them low float swings. When that thing was busting over 21, I was still I I was not feeling good. And then when I didn't execute it, so because just the way my trading layout is, just real quick, I don't want to go too far into it, but basically I'm like looking at my P&L screen to make sure I'm getting executed, right? I wasn't even looking at the chart. I'm looking at my P&L screen to make sure I'm getting executed. I'm not getting executed. I'm kind of back and forth between the chart, my P&L, and I didn't get executed. And then I'm like looking at my P&L not getting executed. I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting squeezed out so bad right now. And I'm hitting my GTFO cancel like hotkeys repeatedly to try to cancel orders, and I got a GTFO limit key that's like 25 cents above the current price. But anyway, it's the skipping action. Once you freeze up, next thing you're like, yep, exactly right.
Oh, yeah, man.
So that's why I have a hotkey. I have a GTFO market key and I have a GTFO limit key. And my GTFO limit key is like 25 cents above whatever the bid is, just to try to get me out in case things go sideways. I haven't had to use that button in a long time. I used it then and I just didn't get executed. Got lucky. Anyway, all right. So the next thing that I was going to show, again, something a little bit different that we haven't really talked about on this platform. Again, this is probably something, newer people. We talk about like God dang, my dog barking. We talk about gap stats, right? We like to use history to help predict the future. And I'm just going to show the ticker. So this was a gapper today. This was at one point one of the biggest gappers of the day. I don't remember the gap percent, but CNSP, you didn't trade today, so you didn't even see it.
I went and looked later on today at what the pre-market looked like, just so I could see what the gappers were.
Yeah, this was a big gapper. Gapped really nicely. Let me zoom in a little bit. So gapped from under $1 to $1.65. So not quite 100%, but I mean it was getting pretty damn close. And obviously it opened and it went red on the day, right?
Man, I didn't sick.
Yeah, it died, and I didn't trade it. But one thing that we talk about is confluence, right? We always talk about confluence. We want good levels. We want gap stats. We want this. We want that. So anyway, I didn't trade this. Pretty big miss. I'm not an opening print short person per se. This little break above VWAP probably would have been the hit for me.
OPB.
Anyway, yeah, I'm not an OPB and I missed the VWAP push. But the reason I'm showing this is because something we use religiously every day as part of our prep is gap stats. And this right here, I don't know if you can ask for better gap stats than this.
Yeah, man.
This is perfect. This is like, it's had 11 gaps, and this is why we talk about gap stats, right? Because history is a good indicator of what the future might hold. So gaps above 20, it's had 11. And of those 11 gaps above 20%, in the last 5 years, I do gap stats 5 years. You could go back 10 years, whatever. I do 5. You could do 1, you could do 2, whatever your pleasure, so to speak. I do 5. But anyway, 11 gaps above 20. Of those 11, it has closed below open 91% of the time. That for me is the absolute biggest takeaway from gap stats. That's what I'm looking for. And then the other thing I'm looking at is the average spike, when closed above open, or the average spike, just to kind of give me an indication of what it might do at open, or before it starts fading. So it looked like it might have a little bit of a spike. Obviously, it didn't present. It had the nice VWAP push. Anyway, I missed it. But Gap Stats, bro, I think of everything I use pre-market, this is probably in my top 3, 2 maybe indicators as far as what like I
One of
like
the main things
looking.
I use.
Yeah, I like Gap Stats. I'm looking for bag holder levels. I'm looking for dilution levels or warrant levels or S3s, things of that nature. But Gap Stats is right on up there. Like I'm looking for Gap Stats. So we don't talk about this much. I talk about it a little more in the pre-market prep that we do on Mondays, but that's relatively new. But Gap Stats, man, this is something we use every day. And to be honest with you, I don't know the last time I've traded a stock, especially a day one gapper, and not looked at Gap Stats. I don't even know
Yeah,
how
it
long.
is a great tool.
I probably had
It
Gap
sure
Stats now
is.
since like 2019. I don't even know. Had it for forever. But if you don't have Gap Stats, Scripts Trade has them. I can put the link in the description. They're phenomenal. They got some great products, but Gap Stats is by far my favorite. But this was a huge telltale sign. And despite the fact that those Gap Stats were so fucking nice, I still missed the GD trade, man.
Damn
I
it,
was
man.
messing around with IFRX, which hopefully that'll work out. I was messing with the other trade I showed that I made today. I was messing with a couple other things, and I didn't catch that VWAP push. I like to set alerts at certain levels, so I had an alert set on that stock, but it was closer to the pre-market high. Obviously, never got there. And it's hard to set alerts for the VWAP push because VWAP's kind of constantly moving. So that's not something you can unfortunately set an alert for, at least through Thinkorswim that I'm aware of. Anyway,
I'll kind of do that with my covers sometimes. Like I'll be like, all right, this is where I want to cover, and it's around I might take a cover here around 1-200, and then it's like I'll go and I'll be doing something, and I'll come back and look, and I'm like, damn it, man, that thing pulled all the way down to the 1-200, but I had it like 2 cents lower than I was gonna say that too about it. Some of my charts, that I'll post, like you might see like there was one I posted the other day and it was like 4 little arrows, and it's because I wanted to get a little bit of cover. I wanted to cover a little bit right there, but it ended up covering a bunch of it. Just because I don't know what it was, but I do the same thing. Like I'll set limit orders for covers, or I started using the range orders sometimes.
I like using range orders just because I put on my side monitor and set my. And to be fair, I only use range orders typically if I've already covered a relatively large portion or at least half. And then I'll set my range order for the rest at break even on a market stop. And then the rest, at my last target point. So I'm not using range orders on full sized trade. I just can't do it. I can't. I gotta keep them on watch. I use range of waterway. Hell yeah, I do too. But I just
Yeah,
typically don't do it until after I've covered at least half. Then yeah, hell yeah, I use a range and go do anything else. I told you the other day, I was like, I'm gonna do ranges and go clean up trees that fell over from these damn storms. Like I love range orders, love them. They're my favorite order.
Oh yeah, and I use them too. It just depends.
Yeah,
Some days I do. I don't know. I like to. I'll show you a full size it and walk. Man,
I've done
only
it.
thing I'll say is last year, I was at the beginning of last year. I was trying to trade like I was trying to be like do a trade a system, and it was what's the ticker, BCEL.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Last
Yep.
year. Yeah, dude. I at the time I had like I don't remember what it was. I had like I had a TZ account, but I was over. I mean, I was over PDT. I don't know why I was using TZ. It was just I mean, kind of like with you. When you were using it, it was like
They
it's.
lured me into.
I know it is easy. You don't have to wire. That was
Well, and
like
I told you at one point, this was 2020. This was a mistake. Whatever. I'll tell you the mistake. And I told you this. There was a period of time in 2020, maybe, or 2019. I can't remember anymore, but small window where I was getting frustrated because I wanted to short stocks XYZ and I couldn't get locates through Cobra, who's who I was using at the time. So I left and opened a TZ account because TradeZero has inventory for days. You can, I mean, they always have locates. Problem is, obviously, anyway.
You profit $6,000 on a trade and you pay $5,900 in locates.
Yeah. So, I regretted that decision and obviously went back to Cobra relatively quickly. It was an impulsive, dumb decision. I was just getting frustrated. But anyway, that was a while ago. So the last thing I was going to touch on and show.
Oh, and I was just gonna say on that BCEL trade.
Oh, yeah. My bad.
I set a stop, and I wasn't watching it. Like I was trying to be like, oh hell yeah, dude, it is.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Sell the locates back. I know. I used to do that shit all the time.
You pay $1 a share of locate, and they pay you back 5 cents.
Yeah, I know. I'd be like, oh, cool. I got back $20 or whatever. It just depends. But man, I had a stop order set on that BCEL, and I'd been doing this for a while, and it was working out. Like leaving it alone and coming back and covering at the end of the day. Man, I came back, and that thing, had. I don't remember how much it ripped. But I knew I looked at my P&L and I was down over $10,000, and I don't allow myself to lose that much money. I ain't no damn high rolling like, oh, no big deal, I'll lose 10.
Yeah, I'm not sitting on $1 million account losing 10K and feeling okay about it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I wouldn't keep $1 million in an account anyway because, like I've said to you, it's not FDIC insured.
Which now we've seen some shit with the bank.
FDIC, it doesn't even matter. So, but still, just for the sake of in my head, I wouldn't keep ever more than $250K in an account. But anyway, I was like, holy shit. And so I'm marketing out, or it might have been that it was like right at 3:00, whatever it was, it kept going. It ended up like when I got completely out, it was like $11,500. And I was pretty damn upset about it. And I was messaging him and they were like, I had the order in, and they were like, no, you didn't. And I'm like, yes, I did. It was.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of problems with that one.
And or maybe they were saying like they didn't know it skipped over the order or something. It was some BS, man. It was I was
or their servers will go down, or amongst the other 1,000 issues. Anyway,
there'd be times I was I remember a few times. I don't remember what this last ticker was, but it was when I still was with TZ. I was shorting something like, man, I used to be a little bit more wild. I shorted something like right into the close because I thought it was going to get hammered, and it got absolutely hammered. And it just the whole platform just froze up on me, and I'm calling them, messaging them, and this damn thing like reclaims all the way up. I ended up losing like $1,000. I was like, what the? I was like, y'all owe me like $800.
It had that with TZ before. I entered a stop limit incorrectly, so it didn't trigger. That
might have been what I did. It just was.
I just had problems with TZ. Like their servers would just go out
all the time, man. All the time.
Anyway, I don't want to go on a bash on TZ, but so we're creeping up on 50 minutes. We obviously don't want this to go all night because we got a 3-day weekend, brother. Friday, Good Friday. Yeah, so I'm trying. I got
a lot to do with the family, man. I gotta. Like I said, my wife's pregnant, and so I've been really busy, and we got to do the whole Easter thing with my.
Yeah, we got the kids. We're gonna do Easter. People are like, open the markets on Sunday, Friday. No, let me have my 3-day weekend. Damn it, let me enjoy my time.
I'm fine with the weekend.
But So anyway, to respect everybody's time. Obviously, if there's questions, let us know. But the last thing I want to leave this on, and this is something I've been keeping an eye on for a while, as have many. Where is this thing at? And I'm going to talk about this on Monday in pre-market prep too. So this one here, kind of hard to see, I know, but HCNWF. This thing has been pumped. I'm not going to show the YouTube video, but there was a YouTube video circulating. First of all, this thing's up from like 35 cents. Obviously, it's crept over $1, and it has closed right at 2. They had this big death candle on some bad news of a potential offering at like $1.05, and it bounced. Thankfully, because I'm going to be watching this thing like a hawk on Monday. We joked and said full YOLO. What,
Yeah.
Monday morning, full YOLO.
Yellow.
But I like OTCs.
That used to be trade one.
So that used to be my thing. Now they're tougher to get executed on, but this thing had damn YouTube videos circulating on a YouTube video circulating on this stock. But the way this video was set up, OTCs are notorious for pumps, right? Pump it up on complete shit. Well, this one had a YouTube video circulating that basically, like, the video let off. You know how it's hot topics right now, right? Like dollar destabilization, China and Russia allies, right? That's got everybody all up in arms. So this video started, I think the headline was like, the dollar is about to crash or something, and it had a picture of a dollar burning. The video reeled you in with that, right? And then it gets your attention. And then I think it was like a 20-minute video or something. The last 5 minutes, they start pumping this stock. And I mean, it's absolute. They're talking about Tesla and EV and, this company's going to have chargers and all these great things. Bullshit. This is not going to end well. I think I told you, or I put on Facebook. I don't know. I put it somewhere. I was like, by next week, this thing's under $1, probably back to 50 cents. Like, this is not going to end well for this. And it never does. This thing is up like thousands of percent at this point. So I think it started at 35. But it's up on shit. It's up on air. And it's going to end badly. I hope it goes higher. The higher, the better. The thing with OTC is you don't want to be early. But the beautiful thing about setups like this is it is up so much. You can actually short the backside late and still do really well. Obviously, that magic little orange line has showed it's respected that a few times over.
I swear, it really has.
So maybe that first crack of that orange line, then you look to short pops after that, whatever, lower high, however you wanted to play it. I'll be looking for some lower highs. I'll be looking for a crack of that orange line. What I will tell you is OTCs can be a bitch to get executed. So with OTCs, I trade them a little bit different. I try to build more of a core around a core area because it can be tough to get executed on a dime. When you see people top tick listed stocks, that's tough, but it's not super uncommon. Whereas to top tick an OTC, pretty damn tough and uncommon. Like, I'm looking to build more of a core. So lower high, crack of that magic orange line there, maybe even a crack of 2. We'll see what it does. Thing could gap up and go to 3. Who knows? But this thing is on my radar for Monday. And I'm excited about that because I love me a good OTC. SIVBQ was one of my best plays for March. So I'm excited for OTCs to come back. And this thing right here is going to present an opportunity. I'm going to talk more about it on that Monday pre-market prep. But this, I'm telling you, this could be your first OTC trade.
I know, man. I'm thinking about it. I'm sitting here strongly considering it,
dude. This would be the one. We probably won't top ticket because it's an OTC. They suck at.
Oh yeah, no way.
But anyway, I could be dead wrong. Maybe Monday's not the day. Johnny said maybe one more day. Yeah, agree. This thing could. I'm gonna look more into it over the weekend. See what this offering was or the offering news was in finer detail. I'm all about filings and 8Ks and I try to reading that stuff, but it's the best way to grow your account when OTC was high. Yeah, hell yeah! Shout out to Johnny. OTC in 2019 was one of the best years I ever had percent growth wise.
And that's really
Absolutely
when
insane.
I first got serious was like 2019. And I just used to watch the Tim Sykes videos, man, and he was just talking nonstop about OTC.
He was all
And
about that dip buy.
yeah, that's when I made
Yeah.
a what did I think I had like a Robinhood account and an Interactive Brokers account.
Could you even trade OTC on Robinhood? Can you?
No.
Okay,
I think that's why I started the IB account. Remember I sent you that thing the other day when they were like happy 4-year anniversary or something like that.
That's right.
IB.
Yep.
And I think I got like $10 in that account, something like that.
That's right. OTC. I hope it comes back. I haven't seen an OTC market like 2019. That was unreal. We'll see, but I love to see this because I think it creates other sympathy plays. Like, a sympathy play to me is like when AI moved the rest of the AI basket. Those AI stocks didn't even have to have news, and it just moved the whole thing. So hopefully we start getting stuff like that with OTC. He said people shit on the OTC, but it's a very hot and cold market, meaning when it's cold, yeah. Yep, I agree 100%. The other thing I love about OTC, and people are probably going to be like, you're crazy, but offerings aside or anything like that, in my opinion, the price action is much cleaner, smoother, slower, easier. The level 2 is easier to read. It's easier to pick up on. It's easier to spot big seller. Like, I've just had an easier time with the price action on OTCs. Now, this was a little bit different because it had that halt today and halted for a while. Crazy move after. But OTCs, in my opinion, just move slower. And
so what you're saying is my mind is warped from trading listed small caps.
And again, people might call me crazy. I thought 2019 OTC trading was 1,000% easier than trading listed stocks. Now, I used to only really trade OTC pretty hard in not only, but I don't know, 60-70% of my trades are probably OTC there for a while. Then the market cooled. Like he said, when that market got cold, it died. Like if the OTC market's not hot, there's not a lot of opportunities. If there's no liquidity in OTC, you can't even get executed. So if you're trading OTC stocks with any real size, you have to have liquidity or you just will not get executed, period. So that's why when you see people trying to trade OTC with big size, there has to be some serious liquidity. So anyway, you get into listed and yeah, he's right. But with listed, the liquidity is not so much an issue typically, especially on day one gappers, but the price action can be very erratic, right? Like you can have huge flushes followed by huge reclaims or fake breakouts and all. Like you just didn't get that with OTCs, especially in 2019. So anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent, but OTCs, in my opinion, were much cleaner and easier to trade. So I hope that market does continue to come back a little bit. But this right here, this is on my radar. I'm going to talk more about it on Monday, but as of right now, lower high, the 2 level, the 5-200, all going to be keys for me. And of course, volume is always my number one. So I'll be watching the volume too. I'm looking for the volume selling or the volume buying, wherever that volume is. But this could be the trade that makes the month. Do what?
I was just reading what Johnny said about the level 2.
And then you can buy the bounce, which has greatest because level 2 is extremely accurate. Yeah, see that's the thing. Like I love level 2 on. Man, my dogs are going nuts. Sorry, this is what happens when you go. Can you hear my dogs?
Yeah, I hear. What is that? Your old dog?
Yeah, it's about all he can do is bark. He can barely get around. It's a miracle he's even still here.
Trooper,
to be honest,
man, he's a trooper.
He is. He's like 100 years old in dog years. It's amazing. But yes, the level 2, in my opinion, is much, much more, I guess, influential on my decision making because it is. I would agree with him. More accurate. It's just easier to spot the sellers and the buyers. It's just slower. I've told you before. If I look at a Tesla level 2, I'm like, what the hell is this? Like
Dude,
I
me
have to
too. It's like lightning fast, and I'm like,
I have to filter Tesla's level 2 to like big orders to even make sense of it, because if I don't, it's like
you know, I
stupid.
always keep up. Well, I keep up two different. What's it called? Damn.
Tabs, brokers, windows, monitors. I
Damn.
don't know.
I might have lost for words. The
Seller's been drinking.
yeah, dude, I've had a time and sales. My bad. I had to pull up.
Time and sales.
Yeah, dude, I've had a few beers, but excuse me.
No, that's all good.
I open the
same.
platform.
Same. I keep time and sales up.
No,
But
I keep two different ones up, but yeah, I guess I'd have to, and I filter one for big orders, but I guess I'd have to do the same with the level 2 on there.
yeah, it can be wild. But anyway, this is something like I said, I've went off on a tangent about it. I'll talk more about it on Monday, because Monday at 7:15 Central, 8:15 Eastern, aka market time, we'll do the pre-market prep. We're trying to do that on Mondays because it's Monday. It's when the whole market's kicking off. They've been closed all weekend, so it just makes sense. So we'll do that on Monday. But anyway, I think that about wraps it that I had. That's all I had. I say that's all I had, and we're at an hour.
Hey man, it was great. I enjoyed it, and like I said, I just wanted to ask you questions about what you were trading.
Yeah, and this is why we do it. So Jeremy, our boy Jeremy, that helped us build this whole thing, like he asked me, he's like, "What's your why?" And I was like, "Because I enjoy this. This gives me some form of completion, some sense of accomplishment that the market doesn't give you. The market just gives you. You can make a ton of money, but it's just a zero-sum game."
Hey, thanks, Johnny, man. We appreciate it for real.
Yeah, man, definitely
We
appreciate
enjoyed
you.
doing it. You know, we're just doing it for fun.
Yeah, and we hope we're helping people. Like we like doing it. We hope we're helping people. We just like to get on here, chop it up. Hopefully, we help some people because we went through the shit and followed some bad advice and followed the wrong people and all the things. So Jeremy was like, "Yeah, why do y'all do what you do?" And I was like, "Cause
Yeah,
it's fun, man. Like I enjoy it. I have fun with it. It gives a sense of accomplishment. Plus, we went through a shit ton of trials and tribulations and probably lost more money than we should have following the bunch of shit that's out there. So we try to just keep things real, as we say. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, and it's really freaking hard. It is a long game. You can't make a bunch of money overnight. You can't make a bunch of money probably inside of a year unless you catch a 2020 market, which might not ever see that again. Anyway, tangent. I gotta stop going on tangents. I think I'm good. You good?
yeah, man. I'm good. I'm great.
All right, I'm great too. Well, let's go finish our beers festivities 3-day weekend.
That's
and
right.
I'm sure I'll holler at you over the weekend. Appreciate y'all watching. Like seriously, for us, this is fun. We appreciate the commentary, the interaction. We're really gonna try.
For real.
Yeah, like it's awesome. We're gonna try our best to keep it consistent because we've had people ask us questions and be like, "Oh, can you talk about A, B, and C?" And so this is why we're trying to do this consistently, so people can ask questions or comment after the fact or whatever. Anyway, and our wives are a little bit happier because we're doing this at set times, right? We're not just sporadically on a Friday being like, "Hey, honey, I'm out for 2 hours. Peace." Like,
Oh, I know. Yeah, my wife will be like, "Oh my god,
yeah,
I forgot you were doing that too." I'm like, "Yeah,
so
I mean,
by having a schedule, we're creating happier households, which is hugely important.
hell yeah."
So anyway, all right. So we're good. We're gonna wrap it. Appreciate y'all. Comment, like, share, all that good stuff. If you have comments, questions, obviously comment after. DM us. We got our Twitter handles up there. Let us know, and we'll do whatever we can to help. But as usual, appreciate y'all. I'll holler at you over the weekend. Think we're good?
Yeah, man. I think we're good. Hopefully next week I should have some trades that we can.
Oh, you're not gonna go 2 weeks in a row without trading. That's
No,
not
man, absolutely
gonna
not.
happen.
In fact, I almost took one today, but I was like, nah, I'm just gonna Let it
better
be.
to not take a trade, especially if you ain't prepared. Risk management and stuff.
That's right.
All right, y'all. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. Holler at you this weekend. Talk to y'all on Monday. Monday, 7:15 a.m. Central, 8:15 market time, pre-market prep. That OTC is going to be on there. But anyway, all right. Appreciate y'all. Holler at you later.
All right,
Do the
man.
outro thing. Peace, brother.
Peace.